Hello, everybody. Oh, hello, Yella. The long-awaited book review. Yeah, it took forever. But anyway, we are here now, finally going to do January's book review. I'm in my pajamas because I'm going right back to sleep. But anyway, whew, my nose. Anyway, so this was our January's book. Yeah? It's called The Black Girl's Guide to Corporate South Africa by Lindelwa Skenjana. Oh, firstly, see how thin this book is. It took me, I think, 2 years. Not consecutively, but because I was reading and stopping, it's been a very hectic few years. But I've always been intrigued by corporate South Africa, particularly on the girlies. Like a lot of them have come on TikTok and they share corporate and a little glimpse and their outfits and their bags, a little bit of their work, but none of them really talk about the inners of corporate and how it can be. And what I took from this book is that black women do not benefit at all. She even says in here that white women benefit from gender diversity. Is it gender diversity? And then black men benefit from race or BE or whatever. But the black woman is what's missing. And she shares reflections from somebody that's starting out in corporate, climbing the ladder. She shares reflections from people who are like right in the middle, from people who don't know if they should stay or leave, for people who are at the top of the corporate ladder, from people who are in the middle and they are fine just being there. They don't need to move up, they don't need to move down, they're okay. But wow, it was such an eye-opener, because you think corporate, you're gonna climb this ladder. That's what those are the lingos they use, climbing the corporate ladder, and you must just study and then it's gonna be promotion after promotion. My gosh, she has shed such a light on how much you have to put yourself out there, how much you must talk for yourself, because if you let other people sort of like drown your voice, you won't get anywhere. You need to be seen, you need to be heard so that you can actually get somewhere. And unfortunately, the downside of it is that there's a lot of parts of your life that you're going to miss out on, or part of your life that you are going to be a blur, particularly how women will sacrifice their families to some degree because while rushing to get the kids cooking and all those things, whereas their male counterparts don't necessarily have that pressure. So it was a nice contrast to see the reality of things and how they can be. And she talks about how when you don't believe that you can be somewhere, you won't get anywhere. If you don't go out on a limb and you go and talk to senior executives, or if you don't go out on a limb and push the boundaries, then you'll just be seen as that person there in the corner, never be given an opportunity to talk or given an opportunity to even showcase what you can do. So I now know for sure that I'm definitely not a corporate girly, because I don't know how long I would last. I'm not particularly one to want to always push and throw myself out there. Granted, I work hard, but I don't think I'm there for the backstabbing and the throwing you under the bus and how much of an independent person you are, because essentially they don't need you. Corporate doesn't need you. Like, you can be gone and they'll replace you. So what's so special about you? What's so different about you that you deserve to be here, that you deserve to be seen or heard? And the other thing that really pissed me off is how she says when she first came into corporate, she had this naivety about her that, oh, people are going to be nice and people are going to work together, we're just gonna all be there for each other. And then she learned very quickly that that's not the case, especially when she had black women as her senior executives, and how hard it was to break through that barrier, because she found that most of the time they're just not for anyone else, they're for themselves. So where is the work? Like, you haven't met the deadline, don't come and ask me questions, and all of that, like the demeaning nature that they had, and how they would pick on the wrongs and sometimes not even see any of the rights that you did. So it was always that thing of make sure you listen twice so that you can execute the work perfectly once, and then hopefully what you've done is correct. So that was the other thing that really threw me off. That, and also black men, the narrative that, oh well, you my person, like, shouldn't we be there like together and stuff? But that was not the case. That's not her experience. Her experience was that you need to be careful when it comes to your black male counterparts, because that could easily turn into the wrong direction, because you would think that maybe you're building a relationship, or you are trying to how can I say this, like, get some mentorship or some, especially if the person is senior, and then it could easily go wrong in terms of I'm trying to put this TikTok friendly, like flirtiness, or like the romantic side. You know how that can go south. So that was another disheartening thing, to think that things could really go bad. The other thing, obviously, a lot of corporate girlies talk about this, is a paper trail. How important it is to make sure that you have a paper trail for every single conversation that you have, so that it doesn't become a he said, she said type of thing, if it ever gets to that, because people are quick to dismiss people, especially the new ones. If an exec feels threatened, they'll be quick to dismiss you or throw you under the bus. So a paper trail is one of the things that she found to be important. But what I love is her ability, her need, and her passion to be herself throughout her journey in corporate, and not to be changed or influenced to be like the people that she'd met. Although granted, she did say that it was not an easy thing, because when you want to go against the current, it's not an easy thing, until she was able to climb up a little bit and become part of management or the exec, and she was able to have her own teams that she was leading, and she was able to shape it in a way that she felt was true to herself. I thoroughly love that, because I really believe that in anything that you do, you should really try and be yourself as much as possible, and believe in the greater good of humanity, no matter how hard it is. There's still a long way to go, unfortunately. It's so heartbreaking, so gut-wrenching, because I've seen a lot of corporate girlies leaving, and the other narrative was that if you leave, you're not changing anything. But now if you stay, how much of yourself are you going to be sacrificing in order to make a little dent or somewhat of a difference in this corporate world that is out there? So it was such a beautiful read. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I've never really read a book like this. I think it's one of a kind. I really believe it's one of a kind. Yeah, it's exactly how I like it. I like paperback books. The size was perfect, because I could take it anywhere and just read whenever I can. So it was great. I hope if you guys really want to look into this, please do. Please buy this book. I think it's such a beautiful book. And obviously the foreword was written by one of my role models, Dr. Judy Dlamini, which in itself says a lot. So yeah, that's January's read. And then obviously you guys know that February's read is Menier over here. And I must say, I've been gasping for a while now. But anyway, that's February's read, and then I think March is going to be Viola Davis. But anyway, hope you guys are reading. Enjoy your day.